Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. We're excited that you've joined us as we have a conversation. We found that a good conversation allows us to share what's on our mind, whether current events, what's grinding our gears, or our pet peeves.
It also allows us to share our top 3, a list of our favorite things on any given subject, most of which are highly opinionated. In closing, we share a good word. Solid friendships are encouraging. Even if we joke and give each other a hard time, our ultimate responsibility is to uplift each other.
Our goal is that you'll feel like you're part of the conversation, like you were in the studio with us, and that you feel encouraged after tuning in to our podcast. It's time to join the conversation.
Welcome back. We're so glad you're listening to us. Thank you for being a listener of Hardheaded Podcast. I'm Chet Sears, your host today, along with Troy, 3-Shot Trussell, and Matt Amos.
Here.
Present.
We got an exciting show for you today. Troy's going to talk about what's on his mind. We're going to cover the top 3. We've been talking about actors, TV, movies, all this stuff. We've got a few more lists to go through over time, but we threw in a good one here. Top 3 Hollywood dogs. So quadrupeds of the canine species or order. I don't know. I didn't do good in biology.
Order.
And Matt's going to bring us a good word. I'm hoping it's an answer because Troy had a question in the last episode. So Troy, what is on your mind?
So, you know, when you get hungry,
I'm there right now.
you're there right now. And sometimes you can drive by a fast food place, right?
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh, that looks good, but the line's like really long. Like, I'm not going to be able to make it. I got to get to where I'm going, right? But then you pass a Chick-Fil-A and the line's like super long. And you think, I bet I can probably get through there pretty quick, right? Because they just have excellent service through the drive-thru, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why is that?
They care.
Maybe. But could it be that the reason the line is always so long there and they have perfected the art of getting people through the line, could it be because they don't want to get rid of MSG out of their food?
No, it could not be that.
Why not?
Because nobody is connecting good service in a drive-through line to what's in the content of their food.
But I'm just saying, the line's always long because people are addicted to the MSG that's in the Chick-fil-A food.
What is MSG?
I will tell you.
It's like sodium.
It's monosodium glutamate. MSG is a flavor enhancer often added to restaurant foods, canned vegetables, soup, deli meats, and other foods like Chick-fil-A. They always use MSG
so
in there.
No other fast food restaurant has MSG?
They do, but since 2019, and prior to that, from my research, I have 2019, a Burger King spokesperson told the Today Show that Burger King has made substantial changes to its menu to embrace and promote 100% real food, fresh produce, beef, and vegetables. And this will increasingly become part of our core marketing for our guests because it's an important commitment to fully removing MSG from our menu. And we're proud to say that is our plan to have this complete by the end of the year. That was in 2019. Since then, they have removed a lot of it from the research I did, but they still use MSG in the current recipe for its chicken fries. But who's getting their
I've never had that.
chicken fries? Yeah, I don't know.
I like the song Chicken Fries
So back in
by the
2019,
Zac Brown Band.
a lot of
I didn't know they were big proponents of Burger King, though.
That's chicken fried.
Same thing.
no chicken fries and chicken fried are different.
By one
But-
letter.
A few years ago, there was a lot of talk around this MSG, and Chick-fil-A was really proud about saying that they weren't going to get rid of it. And it just shocks me because of all their standards on everything else. Why the heck wouldn't they try to do something that would be more healthy for their patrons that eat their food?
Chick-fil-A doesn't exist for health.
Yeah, that's apparent.
Neither does Burger King.
But they're trying.
Or
No,
McDonald's.
they're not trying to be more healthy. They're just trying to remove MSG.
They're trying to make it appear it's a sales pitch.
There you go.
And Chick-fil-A's like, our food's, we don't need to. We're good.
I mean, what? Like, really? A fast food company is going to say we're healthy? They're not.
I think they should try to be.
No.
Especially when they have...
For who? For what purpose?
For my kids!
Don't feed them
They're
that.
addicted to it.
It's not their fault. It's not Chick-fil-A's fault that your kids
No, I know.
eat Chick-fil-A too much.
No. But I think there should be some standards. When they know that something is unhealthy to put that people are eating, they should do they should have some changes.
Is MSG even bad?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it causes headaches, flushing, sweating, face pressure or tightness, lack of feeling, numbness, tingling, and burning in your face.
How much MSG
and neck.
do you have to eat to be numbing and tingling?
I don't know. A couple of chicken nuggets.
It isn't a chicken sandwich. It's not a spicy chicken sandwich.
I mean, not that I put too much trust in the FDA, but they say that MSG as a food ingredient is generally recognized as safe.
I don't believe anything the FDA says about anything.
So MSG has been linked to obesity, Chinese restaurant syndrome.
What is that?
I've had that for years.
Do you know there's a Seinfeld episode about MSG?
Yes.
Did you?
Well,
it's
coulda guessed
not an
that.
episode all about it, but Kramer orders Chinese food and he says, "Yeah, extra MSG, please." He does.
And it says
That's awesome.
it says neurotoxic effects and detrimental effects on the reproductive organs. Look, I'm done having kids. I don't care. I'm gonna get my Chick-fil-A. But I gotta look up what Chinese restaurant syndrome is. Hold on.
Yeah. So the reason they add MSG is because they're removing excess salt and sodium and putting MSG in. Because they can,
Which is beneficial for your health.
so they say that's, they got the backing by the FDA.
The claim that monosodium glutamate is bad for you has been disproven by scientific research. Still, there's a lingering sentiment, especially in American culture, not around the world, in American culture, where
fat people thrive.
because people are saying it's all because of MSG, and it's not.
Yeah.
So Chinese restaurant syndrome is a group of symptoms such as numbness of the neck, arms, and back with headache, dizziness, and palpitations that is held to affect susceptible persons eating food, and especially Chinese food heavily seasoned with monosodium glutamate.
Those are all the symptoms I just listed. Yep.
Okay. It's not going to, so salt would probably do the same thing, but it's just like me, right? If
You know what else has MSG? Doritos. Canned chicken.
oh, you better stop.
Deli meat. So my
Chicken noodle
point
soup.
is, like, I know all these foods have it. All of our foods have all
Brown
other kind of
seaweed.
stuff
All that
in it.
brown seaweed you've eaten,
That's
MSG all up in it.
Well, that's where they extract the MSG from, is the brown seaweed.
It's vegan.
It's gluten. It's gluten free.
Vegan, gluten-free, I'm sold. Make my
Because when they extract it, it looks like a salt. Once it's extracted and crystallized.
monosodium. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's salt.
yeah. So, but my issue with Chick-fil-A leaving it in when other fast foods places are removing it is they have such high standards for everything else.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think they're like, that's a myth, and we're not going to bow to the pressure of people saying that this is bad when it's really not bad. We're going to keep it in there.
I disagree. I think it's bad. I think they need to remove it.
I don't think. I think you needed to go to Burger King more.
So you're
going to eat some chicken fries.
I really don't go to fast food much anyway. I eat locally mostly, but
and you live local.
I do live local,
and probably some of them use MSG in their food.
I bet they do.
I bet they do, but they don't come out with high standards.
So what you're basically
what are Chick-fil-A's
saying?
high standards?
I don't know,
Like,
just being like good in the world, and
they're good.
Yeah,
they're good. They're good at what they do. They don't lie. That's
honest.
You know,
you
want to talk about dishonesty? Let's talk about the McDonald's drive-through, where they have two windows now.
Don't even get me
you
started.
pay at one window.
Why are you going through McDonald's?
You
shouldn't even go there.
You get your food at the second window, and then if you order something that I don't know that they don't already have made, which happens to be anything that I ever order at a McDonald's, it's not already made. Then they're like, you need to pull up and park at one through like 6 different parking spots. Pull up spot number 5 and wait for them to do whatever they're doing, which isn't fast. And the whole time nobody's behind you because they want to lie to their corporation and say that person exited the drive-through window in a certain amount of time. They're never going to get faster that way. They're just going to cause people to say, I'm done with this. I will consume a great, vast amount of MSG to not have to pull up in a parking spot.
Yeah, I just don't go to McDonald's at all.
That you're trusting the word of Burger King over Chick-fil-A. If you have said that they have high standards and they're a model of what restaurants should be, why are you taking Burger King's word over Chick-fil-A?
I'm just reporting.
You're not reporting anything. I think you're I don't know what you're doing. I don't like it. Stay off the Chick-fil-A.
I think MSG should be removed.
But why? If it's not bad.
Because it's unhealthy. It is unhealthy.
It's not unhealthy. The FDA said it's not.
I don't believe the FDA. They're full of it.
When did the FDA go bad? Have they always been bad?
I don't think that they've always been bad.
When were they good? Would you say like in the 1980s they were good?
I don't know.
The 1990s they went bad? Well, you know when the FDA said MSG was good? 1958. Everything was pure in the 50s, even the FDA. Then in 1958 they did the study. 1979 a different organization did another study and said it's safe as a food ingredient. Then 87 the Joint Expert Committee on Food Additives by the WHO, which we all know is a very trustworthy organization.
For sure.
It's in the safest category of food additives. There could be no greater safe category. It's in the safest one.
You want to stand on something, get them to remove high fructose corn syrup.
The American Medical Association concluded in 1992.
I'm all about getting that removed too.
You got to stop drinking Coke.
I don't drink Coke.
Well, good job.
Thanks.
And if you're going to drink a carbonated cola beverage, it needs to be Pepsi with real sugar.
No, I won't drink that.
Why not?
I'll just stick to my carbonated waters.
Oh, you are. Your seltzer water.
My seltzer.
I'm all about MSG. I mean, if you can make something taste better without hurting somebody.
But it is hurting people, and they don't know it.
Nobody says it is.
Yes, they.
No scientific organization says it hurts people at normal levels.
And I'm gonna say right
They're
now
getting paid.
that you're racist. CNN has called you a racist. MSG in Chinese food isn't unhealthy. You're just racist.
Wow. Well, I've been called worse. So.
It says here that researchers actually did a 71 adult participating study, 71 different adults, and they gave meals of MSG additive and placebo meals to other adults and did a long-term study. No difference, no symptoms, no nothing was different between the results. So they're saying, hey, people don't even know. Now, the links to obesity in MSG could come from the types of food that MSG is added to, not because of the MSG. Like, oh, I'm eating a lot of Chinese food and I'm eating a lot of fast food, and now I just don't have any. Yeah.
So, and then it says here, so MSG is a common amino acid naturally found.
Oh, and like tomatoes.
Tomatoes and cheese.
I did see that in my research. But that's natural. It's not extracted and added, just like sugar. Like added sugars.
But it's not like they're mutating it. It's actually already in there.
Well, I got a problem with sugar too.
So you know what? All those hot sauces you eat that have capsaicin extract, stop eating it because that's an extract.
No, I'm with your general sentiment. Let's not add anything.
Can we just keep food and quit adding it?
Yeah,
because it's killing us.
I'm with you on that. But
so I went to buy some Cliff Bars the other day.
Dude, that's like
huge
carb.
MSG heaven.
Well, MSG breeding on Cliff Bars.
I mean, I like Cliff Bars because they're quick and they fill you up, right? And
there's little MSs and Gs just doing it.
All up in that Cliff Bar. But I looked on the ingredients, right? And it said...
It's like, they got like carb city in that thing.
Well, no, I looked at it and it said amount of sugar. It said 16 grams. And right under that, it had an asterisk and it said added sugars, 15 grams.
So
there was
very little naturally occurring sugar in there.
When they made the bar, there was 1% sugar or 1 gram of sugar. And then they added, the rest of it. So it's like eating
candy bar.
Sugar bar.
Yeah. Especially with the carbs. The carbs are crazy on those things too. Like 29 grams.
So I was like, well, I guess I'm not eating these anymore.
No. I mean, you're better off eating like no man's land beef jerky.
Word.
Yeah.
Because that's like no additive jerky either. Because you look at like, oh, I'm going to eat something that's no carb, no sugar. Well, you got to watch out on the sugars on beef jerky. There's a lot of sugars in some beef
Links
jerkies.
adds sugar. I don't like sugar. I don't like sweet meat at all.
Well, I don't like anything. I don't like anything added.
Beef jerky right now is like $16 for 5 ounces.
It's true.
So
that's why you got to make your own.
Yeah,
so maybe this is a name that you'll take, but Anthony Bourdain, who traveled the world and showcased an extraordinary diversity of cultures and cuisines, was more explicit when he said, I think MSG is good stuff. I don't react to it. Nobody does.
Is he alive today?
He's not.
Case closed.
In fact, I think I saw him walking by the office earlier. So maybe he is.
Winner.
He got MSG'd.
And then he went on to say, you know what causes Chinese restaurant syndrome? Racism.
Riceism?
Racism.
Oh.
Whatever.
What about riceism? Too much rice.
I have nothing against Chinese people.
Whoa. People.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you who has something against Chinese food. That's Matt Amos.
And I do.
He's been traveling a lot lately.
You're such a racist.
Because, like, I'm basically wide open on lunches. Right? Is there anywhere that I'm like, we're not going to go eat lunch there?
Olive Garden?
May 2nd, we'll test this theory, but so far, no.
And like Matt is like, we're not going to go eat Chinese food. I'm not going to go eat. What else are you not going to go eat? We don't go get barbecue at certain barbecue places that are close. We don't, I'm not going to eat a burrito. Like we're not getting burritos anywhere.
No. I don't mind burritos, but I'm not going to go to Chipotle or what is that other one? Qdoba.
You're not going to go to a fast food chain for a burrito.
No. And there's a song.
He'll go for a fast food chain for a taco.
Oh yeah.
So it's not a fast food chain thing. It's like he doesn't like burritos.
Oh.
I actually don't mind burritos.
Chipotle has tacos.
It doesn't have a drive-through. At lunch, I want pretty much a drive-through unless it's close. I just want something quick or pizza roll. Ooh, I'll go for a pizza roll.
But anyway, since he's been out of the office a lot, surprised he even has a job.
Most are.
But yeah, I've been getting a little of my Chinese food fix. So maybe that's my problem right now is I've had too much MSG.
You twitching?
No.
You have any
Tingly?
numbness in your neck?
Well, hey, call me up because I'll go eat Chinese food.
I like Chinese food.
Tons
I
of
do
MSG.
too.
I'm a big Chinese
Tons of
food fan.
MSG.
I know, and they're not scared to talk about it either.
I'm all about. So let's not talk about the specific issue of like the ingredient, but for an organization to have pressure to stop doing something, and for them to just come out and say, "No, we're not stopping." When's the last time you've heard that? That doesn't happen.
They're standing up for what they believe in, and they believe in the MSG because it adds flavor.
But I don't think that they've structured their whole corporation off of we've got to be good here because we do this that's bad there. They literally have had. I've actually done some research on this for a previous role that I had. Like what makes them different? Well, they really focused on their food. At first, if you remember, Chick-Fil-A never had standalone stores. They were all mall food court or universities or airports like that. They didn't do the standalone stores. And they were like, we want to have a growth strategy that involves brick and mortar, but we'd rather just lease space where we don't have to draw customers right now. Customers are already in the mall, and back then malls were good. So they're like, we just have to have the best food in the mall. Like we want to be the best choice that people can make. And we could do that by leasing space and not going out and making these huge investments. So they really focused on their food and got it, right? I mean, if you're next to a Chick-fil-A or a Corn Dog 7 or a Sbarro pizza, like I'll get some Chick-fil-A.
Especially back then.
Yeah.
I might go with Sbarro.
Yeah. And then
I usually went for the little Chinese place.
okay.
Yeah.
Golden chopsticks, whatever.
Little Wok.
Yeah.
But then when they started going brick and mortar, they turned their focus
To customer service.
on their employees.
Ah.
And how do you know, like, did you ever guys work at a fast food place?
My pleasure.
No, but I'm saying,
No, I did not.
how do you know your employee is going to be treated well by the people that they come in contact with?
I don't know.
If you get their order right and if you treat them politely, you're almost guaranteed that you're going to have a good
Good,
get their
good
orders in fast.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't necessarily focused on the customer. It's like, how can I have my employee have the best day here? Well, in order for my employees to get their food out on time in the drive-through line, we're going to have to install 2 lines. At first, they were one of the first fast food restaurants to go to 2 lines. You guys didn't know you're getting a Chick-fil-A education today, did you? And then they're like, well, we can't wait for them to get to the screen to order the speaker on our rush hour. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to have to put some employees outside. Well, if we're going to put them outside in the elements, well, have you seen the parkas that they wear? Like, they're expensive. And then they put in these awnings. Those awnings aren't for the customers in the drive-thru. Those awnings are for their employees. The fans, the heaters are for their employees. They're not for us as customers. They're doing everything that they can to give their employee the best day that they can have at work. And in turn,
And they pay them well.
your experience is good. And you're going to go, and that line's going to move fast. And then you're going to keep going back. And because they lace their food with MSG.
Exactly.
You're addicted to it.
That's right. That's all I'm saying.
I wonder if there's MSG in their sweet tea because
They've had 2 main focuses. Their first focus was we got to get our food, the best food, and then their second focus, and they actually, they talk about this like this was our goal. Number 1, best food we can have. Number 2, after we accomplish that and we want to go brick and mortar and grow, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to treat our employees the best, and a good employee that's having a good day is going to mean our customers are going to have a good day.
And here's Troy trying to crap on their parade.
I'm just saying they need to get rid of MSG.
I don't think so.
Still stand behind it.
I love it. So good.
It's so good when it touches my lips.
Matter of fact, give me a little shaker of MSG, and I'll just bring it around with me to the places that don't do it anymore.
We're Kramer over here. Extra MSG, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Are we ready to move on?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. We're going to take a break. Come back with our top 3 Hollywood dogs. Roof, roof.
Did he just bark?
1783, the first victory. Victorious in war, this year sees America earn her independence. At Admiral's Pennant, we celebrate victories at the end of war. 1783 is the first of many such celebrations in our nation's history. This is an elegantly refined blend of sandalwood, cedar, and tea tree. The subtle, lingering, woody scent of the sandalwood, light cedar, and the top notes of tea tree is the essence of masculinity, honoring the men who fought and continue to fight to provide us our independence.
Check it out at admiralspennant.com. Without it, you might as well shave it.
And we're back. Top 3 Hollywood dogs. Matt, let's go.
Number 3, actually, honorable mention. The
Back up.
what do you?
I was about to play the MSG Seinfeld thing, but I'm not going to do it for copyright issues.
The what's that movie with John Wick?
Yeah,
The third one. The
Parabellum.
the two
The German Shepherds from
no, they're Belgian Malinois.
yeah,
But the
from
two
Halle
Belgians,
Berry.
yeah, that they have. Those two dogs are
Is this
awesome.
the number 3?
No, it's my honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
On another honorable mention,
Hey, come on now. We're not just going to name all the movies that have dogs in them.
Yeah, you're gonna take some of ours.
Yeah, come on, man.
Rin Tin Tin.
Why isn't that in your top 3
you
list?
You didn't have any of them. You didn't have them.
Maybe.
All right, number 3, Hooch.
Yep.
I can't handle the slobber.
He was awesome.
That's a great
Is it-
great movie.
There's
Great
a
movie.
TV series now.
Oh,
Turner
yeah, I
Hooch.
think I saw that.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the episodes, but
I
I saw that.
haven't either, but
Yeah.
I did see that. I don't know. That was
They'll remake anything these days.
yeah. But the slobber in the shoes and all that stuff, and the chewing on everything, and the constant fight with the guy and his dog, you
Yeah.
know, and then of course the sad ending where the dog's protecting and gets shot, you know.
Yep.
But had puppies and everything's happy, right?
Right.
Right.
Number 2, Buck Bundy,
Oh, from yeah.
Married with Children.
Married with Children, yeah.
The dog noticed everything. It's like, you know, you kind of think about it, you know, when you're doing something or talk with your kids or you're yelling at the TV or whatever it might be. And you just look over at the dog and it's like, he's definitely judging me right now. And Buck Bundy is the personification of that.
Yep.
And then number 1, probably the most classic dog that inspired me on my first dog that I begged my parents for, Lassie. So I got a Collie and trained her up, and they're incredibly smart dogs.
Yeah.
But even back then, you know, they are extremely smart. But I don't know that they're smarter than the German Shepherds that I've owned. I think I've just seen a distinct difference between the two, and the German Shepherds were just so much more easily trained.
Yeah.
That's my 3.
Lassie didn't have to be trained.
Nice.
Lassie was
Nope.
going out doing things and
You
barking
were
words.
you were lost. It didn't matter. She's gonna find you.
All right.
Pick up your scent.
Where is she, girl? Where is she? Where? Oh, in the barn. Okay.
No. Number 3, Doug from the movie Up.
Ah, that's a good one.
Because he could talk.
Have you seen his little short movie they put out recently? It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I've seen Up once, so
Did you cry?
Squirrel.
no.
Number 2, Snoopy.
Snoopy. Good dog.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I grew up raising beagles, so I'm a beagle fan. Snoopy. It's the most iconic beagle in Hollywood, in my opinion.
I would agree.
Yep. And I liked his. Back when I was a kid, they used to have the Halloween episodes of, you know, Snoopy was
Peanuts. Yeah.
World War II ace, you know, and then he's sitting on the
The
doghouse,
Red Baron.
yeah, flying, and then you know that they when he was the ghost and he came up out of the pumpkin patch.
Yep.
And good
Number
times.
1, Eddie.
Ah, from Frazier.
Frazier, smart
Yeah.
dog.
That, I think, of all TV shows, like they integrated that dog
He was a character of the show.
very well
Yeah.
into the show. Like he wasn't just an add-on. He was
He was part of it.
yeah. Yep. That's my 3.
I like it. All right, number 3 for me. Puffy
Like from
Something About Mary.
I don't remember the dog.
You don't
Oh,
remember
the
that?
dead dog. The dog.
Yeah, the dog kept getting hurt. And then, so I looked it up. It said even though there were 3 fake dogs used for Puffy's action scene, a real dog did actually do the body cast scene. Border Terrier Slammer wore a 3-piece custom fitted suit for about 10 seconds to get that classic shot of the dog in the cast.
That's hilarious.
I like it when he tried to get the lamp cord and then
Yeah, trying to get it come back to life. Oh, number 2, I had Eddie as well from
nice.
Frazier. And then number 1, Old Yeller.
Old Yeller.
Yep.
Man.
That's just some fine acting when he got rabies. That was a savage beast right there. Scared me to death. And then when he shot him, I mean, I think I watched that at the school I went to. We had like a library hour once a week, and we would go watch movies sometimes. And we watched Old Yeller. I think every kid in there was like,
Why? Like, if you name a dog movie that doesn't involve death of the dog, it's hard to name one.
yeah, when it's all about the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always include that portion of it.
Yeah.
Where the red fern grows.
Oh, that's a great. Well, I love that book.
Yeah. What's the? There's naturally there's Old Yeller.
Yeah.
There's another one where the dog dies.
White Fang.
Cujo.
White Fang. The one with
Cujo was Stephen King, wasn't it?
that's is recent. Marley and Me.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, like what?
I think they the dog always dies because they have such a short lifespan as to humans, and the dog's always going to die.
There's some movies that only cover like 24 hours of space
And the
in
dog
a
dies.
timeline. No, like, put a good dog in that movie.
Well, there are. It's just not all about the dog in those movies.
I don't know. I think somebody needs to get on it.
Because I
Have a
think
dog movie where the dog is still with everybody when the movie's over.
But I think next to losing a person's dog is pretty much right there on the list, because a lot of people feel like they're losing a member of their family when they lose a dog.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's an emotional jerk chain that they can use on movies to get you emotional during a movie. And to me, you shot Old Yeller, you probably need to go.
Yeah, but the sadness that comes with dog ownership is short-lived in comparison to the joy that you get with your dog.
I get it. I'm right there with you. That's why I'm like, man, we had a lot of good years together. Bye. I mean, sorry, bud. You know, don't want to see me suffer.
I know. He paid for surgery for his dog several months ago.
Thousands.
Wow.
Thousands.
What'd he do? What surgery did he have?
For the second time, he's had the same surgery, and he got a hold of a rope toy that we had put away, and somehow he'd gotten it and chewed it up and ate it, and it got stuck. And he almost died from this one. And I was asking my wife, I was like, I mean, what do you want to do? I go, I could take him out back, or, you know, we can do some surgery. What do you want to do? And she goes, well, I think we should try to help him. I said, oh.
He came to work. he came to work. And he's like, I think something's wrong with my dog. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I'm going to put her down tonight. And I'm like, what's wrong with your dog? He was limping. I'm like, what? Just wasn't acting right. I was like, you're just going to shoot your dog because it's not acting right? Like, well, no, I think something's like medically wrong with it. Like, how is he expressing something that's medically wrong? I like limped a little bit, and like I told it to do something and it didn't want to do it because it wasn't feeling good. So I was just going to shoot it. I'm like, you can't shoot your dog tonight, Matt. How long has this been going on? Since yesterday. I'm like, what?
Well, and it was like a compounded problem. So the limp came from something else. And I don't know what that limp came
Oh, a
from.
thorn in it. He had something in his paw, right?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think he was
I'm
running.
not even going to investigate. You limp, you die.
I mean, kind of, but
That rope bone was laced with MSG.
it might have been because it about took him out. And I think it was
It's like catnip for people.
Yes.
but he went out in the yard and he couldn't he'd squat and nothing would come out, and I'm like, man, that ain't right. And then yeah, I was like 68 cents. And then my wife's like, I think we should try to help him out. And I was like 68 cents. And she goes, I think we should. I was like, all right. And so she took him to the hospital that night, and they did the tests and x-rays and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, he's really dehydrated, and he's got a blockage. So you'll probably want to go to your vet in the morning unless you want us to do surgery tonight. And I'm like,
Not emergency
nope.
surgery.
And so brought him home, and then that night they like hit him with some drugs or whatever, and he's just like all jacked up. It was so funny to see your dog high, because he'd sit and just be like, oh. and then when he laid down, like I've never seen like my dog do this, but his legs were completely behind him, and he was sprawled out like this and like that with his tongue hanging out, and just he was loaded. And so it took him to the vet the next morning, and mind you, this is the second time I've done it, which is why the bullet was the quickest, but
And the cheapest.
so she took him the next morning, and the vet was like, oh, well, we can try, but normally once they're this far along, they don't have good chances coming out of surgery. And so my wife calls me, and she's telling me that, and she's like, I was like, well, we're already this far in it. You might as well just try. And so she got them all fixed. They went into surgery, came out, and they called us like a few hours later, and they're like, he did freaking great. Said it was in a perfect spot. We really didn't have to open him up too much. And we got him in recovery right now. I'll be coming home. Want to come pick him up in a few hours. Just come pick him up, and he's good to go. And I was like, all right. But that was like $3,000
Ugh, yeah.
in the span of 2 days on that dog, which is a grand total of $6,000 in surgeries over the last.
That would be a short movie. With still a tearjerker, 24-hour span.
Yeah.
Hey, what's wrong? You're limping. Boom. The end.
They call that a short film, Chet.
Let's go outside.
Come on, bud.
Dig a hole.
You got 68 cents, buddy.
Maybe you could buy your way out.
Oh, sorry. Hey, killer of dogs, would-be killer of dogs, Matt, you got a good word for us?
I do.
Got a better word?
Yeah, better word.
I do have a better word.
This guy needs to be head of HR somewhere, some corporation.
Yeah.
How much is it going to cost to solve this employee morale problem?
68 cents.
Oh, Susan, you're limping today. We don't got the money to pay for that.
But we're going to have to step off campus. This can't be a recordable incident.
Just follow me. All right. Good word today from last week was, last week's good word was test
Question.
Today,
Test answer.
test answer. And we're coming out of Matthew 15, 32 through 33, again out of the Chosen Book 2. And it says, Jesus called the disciples to him and said, I have compassion for these people. They have already been with me 3 days and have had nothing to eat. I do not want to send them away hungry, or they may collapse on the way. His disciples answered, where could we get enough bread in this remote place to feed such a crowd?
Where?
Exactly. Where? That's the question that they were asking. Again, after he's already fed them once and proven that he would provide once. And this was just to Philip, and the other disciples witnessed this. And then this time he's asking a lot of them, where are we going to get enough food to feed these people? And they said, where are we going to get the food to feed these people?
No clue.
And he's sitting there like,
That's a great question, Jesus.
he's got to be sitting there like, bro, I've proven to you before, but the last time with Philip, it wasn't that many people, and now, they're trying to feed like 4,000 people or something like that. So you look at it like, okay, we've got a small problem. Oh, pretty easy fix, but they still will bring me that, and we'll feed these people. And now they've got a big problem. Oh man, it's a huge problem. 4,000 people. How in the world are we going to feed these people? And they still didn't trust that he could get it done
or put it in their
they couldn't,
realm of possibility.
Right. Because they're just like, man, it's too big. It's too big. We can't do this. And so I think that's a good lesson to all of us. And the Chosen book takes it a kind of a different way, but kind of the way I look at it is little problem. God can take care of it. Big problem. God can take care of it. It's all about having faith and trust that he can take care of it. So lean on him for everything. And so that's kind of the direction I take it. And the Chosen book in their little write-up, they kind of take it as you learn to humble yourself through failure. So they failed. So back to their test question type of deal. He was testing Philip. Philip failed. And then he tested the disciples all, and every single one of them failed. But he treated them with love and compassion and said, he didn't get all mad. He didn't get upset, but he used that as a teaching moment. And so, depend on how you look at it. I just looked at it a different way. It's like, hey, trust him for all your problems. It doesn't matter how big or small they are. Take them all to him. He's got a fix. All you got to do is trust. And he's probably told you a dozen times, and you probably tried to do it on your own, and you didn't trust in him and said, well, how am I going to do this? How am I going to, well, you're not, bro. You need me. And so that's kind of what I take from that.
Yeah. And I also think the little things, in life, you try not to bother people with the little things like, right. Oh, I'll just take care of it. I'll just do that. I'll just take care of it. And I think we do that with God too. It's like, oh, this is little, like, I don't need to pray about that because I got this handled. I can figure that out. And then it compounds, right? And they build up, and then,
And I think we put, when we do that, because I've been guilty of that myself, but I think when we do that, we put limits on God, right? So to me, it's like, I've got this tiny issue, whatever it might be. And it's like, I'm not going to bother God with that. Right.
Yeah.
But that's me putting limits on him because he's,
or just saying that you could be God of the small stuff and he could be God of the big stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not total surrender.
Right. And I've been guilty of that a lot of times.
Yeah.
So,
and it's all about the relationship, right? He wants full relationship with you, whether it's in the little things or the big things. He doesn't want you to just call on him for the big things. He wants to be there for the little too. Celebrations, bad things, good things, all things.
All of it.
Yeah. So,
because if he's a part of you, he's a part of all of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's already there for it. I think he just wants the acknowledgement.
Yeah.
That
exactly.
You want him there.
Yep.
That's my good word.
Thank you, Matt. Good job. All right. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.